Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community.
You're listening to Candidly Crawford Radio Show, and I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Teresa,
and we are
Candidly Crawford, where we're all about God, marriage, and real life. Now, when we say God, marriage, and real life, that also includes our relationships, friendships, and everything in between, and just real life in general.
Yes, so today is our very first show, and we're super excited to connect and engage with you, sharing our life experiences and a few laughs too.
Yes, so our sponsor for tonight's show is the Candidly Crawford Podcast, available on your favorite podcast platforms and on the Candidly Crawford YouTube channel.
So tonight, our topic is all about the Crawfords. We figured since this is our first show, in order for you to get to know us and what we're all about, we'll share some highlights of our story with you guys.
Yes, so one of the main questions we often get is, how do we meet?
So how did we meet, Teresa?
Well, we met on social media. We actually met on Twitter. So Nick, kick it off.
So yes, we met on Twitter. And picture this, it's during the pandemic and everybody was, still in home. They're socializing on social media. And, I saw Teresa's profile on Twitter. And I thought I would, follow her. And she followed me back. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So down the line, we would tweet each other. And her response would be very quick. And my response would be very quick as well. So I was like, I'm starting to like this person. Is that how the story went for you, Teresa?
I guess.
What you mean by you guess?
Because I feel like we've told this story so many times and it changes. But one thing I can say for sure, we did tweet each other quite a bit back and forth. And then I went on a social media hiatus. Nick says that I ghosted him, but hey, we gonna leave that up to the audience to decide. I didn't ghost him. I usually go on a social media hiatus. I just didn't tell him because we weren't like that. We was just social media friends. So I was like, okay, I'm going on social media hiatus. Hey, hopefully he's here when I get back and we'll just go from there.
But my side of the story is, if we are communicating back and forth on social media and then you take a break, that's ghosting to me. So family members, tell us, is that ghosting or not? You have to reach out to us. Email us at candidlycrawford@gmail.com. Let us know your response. Is that ghosting or is that not?
I mean, I could see where you could say I ghosted you because technically I didn't give you any warning, no nothing. So after I came back from my 3-month hiatus, I picked up. It's kind of like we picked up kind of like where we left off, kind of, so to speak. Except for I was on Instagram this time, and then that's when he slid into my DMs. So
yes, I did slide into her DMs on Instagram because I posted a picture on Instagram, and that's where she responded. Now, back when I was tweeting her, she didn't respond. So when I saw her response, I was a little excited, and still back there on Twitter, like, why haven't you responded a few months ago, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, after we hashed that out, I guess you can say, we went on the first date.
We did. We went on the first date, and actually, we're gonna come back after the break and tell you all about that first date, because actually, it was a pretty good first date. But you guys need to find out there's a few funny moments in between as well. But actually, just stay tuned as we take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll definitely continue our discussion on all about the Crawfords, basically how we met. So you're listening to Candidly Crawford Radio.
And I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Teresa.
You're tuned into WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and we'll be right back after the break.
We are Candidly Crawford Radio.
All about God, marriage, life, and everything in between.
Tune in every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern as we candidly share our thoughts and experiences on life and relationships with a few laughs too. Interested in growing your business by advertising on our radio show? Need a dynamic duo or host to speak at your event? Connect with us. Email us at candidlycrawford@gmail.com or at Candidly Crawford on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram.
Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and those streaming live through the free TuneIn Radio app, Streema, Apple Music, Radio Seed, and more.
You're listening to Candidly Crawford Radio Show, and I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Teresa, and we are Candidly Crawford. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing all about the Crawfords. Now, before we went to break, we were talking about our first date, or we were leading into our first date, and just some funny things that may have happened during the first date.
So, the first date was interesting because when I pulled up to Teresa's apartment, she had 4 flights of stairs. And she failed to let me know that she had an elevator. So as I was running up,
first of all, I didn't ask you to come. I told you to stay outside while I come downstairs. I wasn't expecting for you to come upstairs.
Yeah, but I thought that was the gentleman thing to do. So
yeah, but I still didn't know you like that, and you was coming to my house.
Well, you shouldn't have gave me the address to your house. Anyways, I ran up the stairs, and I had flowers and a card, and I was huffing and puffing because as I run to her apartment, I passed the elevator and realized I really didn't have to run up the stairs.
Right.
And so when I came to her door, of course she was late. You know, she wasn't ready all the way, and I was cool with that. Her dog was biting at my ankles and stuff like that, and I was cool with it because I was going on a date with somebody who I thought was special.
Well, obviously, we had a great time on our date, despite of me running a few minutes late. Ladies, you know how it is when you're haven't been on a date in a while. You're just trying to find the perfect dress, the perfect outfit, the perfect shoes, all that good stuff. So that's what happened in that particular instance. So, but to fast forward, we started dating. We ended up getting engaged a few months later. And after engagement, 5 months later, we were married.
Yes, and that brings us up to today. And we're here on the radio sharing our lives with you guys, our new family. So welcome.
So Nick, with that being said, I know we just gave a quick kind of run through about how we met, but mainly my thing is this on social media. So for those of you guys who are still dating or trying to find a connection or whatever, is social media still a big option for you? I know technically it wasn't truly an option for me and Nick, because basically I prayed and I told the Lord I didn't want to meet my husband off no type of dating apps. So I guess the Lord was like, okay, it won't be a dating app, but actually it was Twitter. So to me, this is just my personal opinion, and Nick is going to give his in just a minute, but I will say this, for someone who had prayed for a person, of course I had to pray and ask God to prepare me for the man that I need. God already knew the man that I wanted, right? So why not pray and ask God for the person you need? That's what I did. And day by day, it just proves every day I'm with Nick, I see why God placed us together. So that leads me to say, be open to unconventional ways of meeting your mate. And that's just one thing that Nick and we like to share with everyone, because some people be like, well, I am being open, nothing's happening, it's all these bad people, but still, just stay the course, be patient. Now, it's easy for me to say because, of course, I'm not single, I'm married now to the love of my life, but I've been there before. I just didn't want to, not saying that dating apps are bad, but me as a personal choice, I didn't want to meet my mate off of a dating app. I've been there, done that, I tried it, I didn't like it, I shut down all my profiles, and I told the Lord it's just me and him. Wasn't even looking, and then here comes Big Head Nick. So
wow, Big Head Nick. Okay, is it my turn to talk?
Yes, it's your turn to talk. So what are your views on meeting someone on social media? I know how we met was unconventional, but what are your thoughts on it?
So my thoughts on us meeting on social media and just the social media part of dating, I'm all for it. So Teresa knows this, and I'll share with my family now that I was out here trying to be in these streets, and social media was gonna help me be in the streets. I had just recently got dumped by this one young lady, and I told the Lord, like, okay, well, since it's not time for me to be married, well, let me go sow my oats. Let me go on a few dates with women and just be out here chilling. So I had lined up dates after dates after dates. And then Teresa came, and after my date with Teresa, I just shut down all my dates because I felt like I had found one that I was really interested in getting to know, and then come to find out she was the love of my life, and she's now my wife. But I'm all for it. You get out there because that's the only way you get to know people. People are not coming up to you in grocery stores or at the mall anymore asking for your number. They will come up to you asking you for your social media handles, because in a sense that's safer than giving you my number, right?
That's true. So, I had a Google number, but I gave you my real number.
You got me your real number?
Yeah, I didn't give you my Google. Everybody else before you that I thought I may want to date, they got the Google Voice number. So
I feel blessed because I didn't know anything.
Well, I don't know. A couple of them did have my number. I'm not gonna lie. It was a few that had the Google Voice. So
it went from nobody had your real
number. That was
to a few had your number.
That was a misspoken statement.
Okay. Well, I was honest with you, and I gave you my real number.
I gave you my real number too.
And I gave the people before you my real number because I was honest with them. But
you sound a little salty there, bud.
Not a little salty. I'm alright. I'm seasoned. So, but yeah, I encourage you, until you find the one. First of all, you should pray about who the Lord wants you to be with. Gather yourself and make sure that you're in the position of being in a relationship. And once you do those two steps, I feel like if you want to go on a few dates to enjoy somebody's company or to get to know them, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, but again, it's just something that's if that's a part that you're willing to partake in. Like, if you feel you're ready for that, I would say go for it.
Yeah.
That's just me. But, keep an open mind, because, again, it may come in the most unconventional way.
It will. Like, ours came based off Twitter, or what do the young people call it? X now? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's X now. So, yeah.
I feel old just
formerly Twitter, excuse me.
I feel old just saying that. But, our relationship came out of X. And
it was Twitter at the time, I think it's safe. We can still say Twitter.
We can still say Twitter. Okay, cool. Twitter. But I feel like, you should be open. But then be discerning of who you invite into your space.
Right. Definitely be very discerning, because looks can be very deceiving. Your heart can also be deceiving.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm battling a little cold from this fluctuation of weather, so you may hear me coughing every now and then, but Nick is definitely right. Just be very discerning, of course, and always protect your peace. Don't sacrifice your peace or your self-worth just to be in a relationship.
Yeah, don't sacrifice that peace, because if you sacrifice it, sometimes you might end up in pieces. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. So you definitely may end up in pieces, as Nick mentioned. So hopefully that little tidbit, or just, our opinions on being unconventional, being open to finding love or your connection in an unconventional way, just hoping that can help you while you're in your journey. If you already started your journey with looking for love or a connection, hopefully these tips can help you pivot a little bit and maybe try something new and be open. Now, as far as if you into some stuff that's extreme, I can't help you there. I'm just giving you what worked for Nick and I. And I'm not saying that our story would be everyone else's story, but that's just worked for us. So we definitely wanted to share, how we both were open to unconventional ways of meeting someone. So hopefully that can help you guys out in some type of way.
This music segment is being brought to you by Candidly Crawford Radio. And we're your hosts, Nick
and Teresa, here on WDRB Media. Tune in every week during this same time. Listen live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio app, Streama, Apple Music, or at WDRBmedia.com and click on the Listen Live logos.
We are WDRB Media,
the voice of the community.
So now that you know how we met, let's actually dive into who we are.
Yeah, because we gave the people some of our dating stories and a little bit behind how we met. But Teresa, who's the real you?
I would say the real me is, hey, I'm a health analytics project manager. I had to, because I serve two dual roles. So just to sum it up, health analytics project manager by day, which I absolutely love, but it is a bit challenging at times, but it is definitely a rewarding job. I will say that for the most part. And right now is our busy season. So yes, hats off to all of those who are working in that busy season. So definitely. But aside from that, I'm a human mom to an amazing fur baby.
Shouts out to Snacks,
which is our fur baby. Of course, he has a great dad, which is, of course, Nick. So aside from that, I love to read. I love going to, tea bars here. We have a couple of tea bars here that are excellent. Brunching with my girlfriends every now and then, of course, with my husband, or just relaxing, doing nothing because I had a long work week. But and of course, a little bit of, I do online retail therapy. I don't know about everybody else, but
first of all, you can't say a little because it almost ends up a box at our door every day.
Oh, I know you're not talking, sir. Not with all that cologne that comes every week. Because what you seen on TikTok.
I like to smell good.
Wow. But you getting on me for my online retail therapy. All right. So, anywho. So, I do serve at church alongside my husband. We are over the grief ministry at our church. And also I'm on the communications team. So, I do their voiceovers for their recordings. Oh yeah, we're Nick and we're a little multi-talented, so a little shameless plug here. We do host events.
Yes.
I do voiceovers for commercials and advertisements. Just a little something, We also do speaking engagements as well, so we're definitely open to that. If you guys are interested in knowing a little bit more in detail about what we do, or if you're interested in our services, definitely hit us up at Candidly Crawford at gmail.com, or at Candidly Crawford on Facebook, Instagram, or even our YouTube channel and TikTok. So again, that's at Candidly Crawford. So just hit us up. So back to the matter at hand here. Who am I? I love to cook as well. And thank God I have a husband that loves to cook too. So y'all, I'm gonna tell you, there's some good eating that go on in this house. I don't know about anybody else, but we eat very good over here. So enough of rambling about me. I'm born and raised out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Been in Charlotte for over 20 years. Charlotte, North Carolina, and I am one of 3 siblings. I'm in the middle, so I don't have middle child syndrome, but I am the mama bear of the other 2.
I don't know about that, but I'll let you keep that one to yourself.
Oh, wow. So enough about me, Nick. Who are you?
Yes, so I am the oldest of 3 to my mother and my father. I love to cook, as my wife said. I love to grill. I like being at home with my wife and my dog. On the grill on a Saturday, you might smell something in the neighborhood. It's probably me. So, as my wife stated, we do serve in church together. I serve as a minister. Also, I serve on the back line with music production. But during the day, my job is I work with adults with developmental disabilities. I find services for them so that their needs are met as well. That's something I've loved doing. I've done over the past 10 years. It's a business or a service that's near and dear to my heart. But outside of that, I like singing karaoke. I'll go to a karaoke
we
club
just had a big karaoke
and sing my heart out. I'll go in with the voice and come out without one. I like good food. Me and my wife, we we call ourselves foodies around Charlotte.
Yeah, we are self-proclaimed foodies. I will say that. And actually, I left that out because we do love food.
We love
Even
food
though
a
we
lot.
do cook a lot of good food, but we like to enjoy a lot of good food.
So family, if you know of any good restaurants here in Charlotte or the surrounding areas,
and even like when we're getting ready to travel to your city, we're definitely going to reach out and ask you guys the same thing. So make sure you are following us on all platforms. That's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Just at Candidly Crawford, you'll find us. So coming to a city near you, we definitely like to travel as well, in addition to eating, but
yeah,
we love to eat good food when we do travel. So
right.
Of course we'll definitely ask you guys for suggestions, so definitely keep those coming in, because we are excuse me, always willing to try some great restaurants. So
yeah, so another thing is I like to laugh. I like to have the people around me who surround me laughing. I'm a jokester. A lot of people would say I'm quiet. I'm like, you don't really know me, because once you get to know me, you probably would tell me to be quiet.
So let me just interject here. So a lot of people, when you first meet Nick, he may seem like he's quiet, and I tell people all the time, no, he is not quiet. Nick is quite the jokester. So let me just insert this little funny story. So of course, Valentine's Day was last week, right? So as a gag gift, let me tell you what this dude did. So this is never a dull moment in this house. Never a dull moment in our house, should I say. I won't say this house, but in our house, it's never a dull moment. So he, brought me the box. I saw, like, I had my roses, my candy, and all that good stuff. So it was this box. He was like, babe, open it. And I mean, when I say, I was like, oh, it was the middle of my work day, and we both work from home. So that's also a great thing as well. But I opened up the box, and I'm excited. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, what did he buy me? Because Nick, he's very attentive, and he always gets me good gifts. Y'all, when I tore open that box, guess what it was?
What was it?
It was a vinyl to Smokey Robinson's latest album called Gasms.
Ah! I thought you like R&B.
Don't play me. So we have a record player, so we're stacking up our vinyl collection, but he bought that as a gag gift because it was something that we've been kind of picking on before a little bit, and then for me to open it up and it's there, and it had a nerve to be the special edition, y'all. Like, really.
Anything special for my baby.
Wow. So some people, we posted it on Facebook, everybody was just laughing. And they were just like, hey, you never know, he might get you in the mood. I'm sorry, I did a preview of that album when it came out, I guess a few months ago or sometime last year. I'm sorry, I love Smokey, trust me, the early years, all that, but I'm sorry, it's just not getting me in the mood. So
it's not gonna get you in the mood.
No, it's not. So sorry, but this is what this dude did. But in addition, that was my gag gift, but of course I had some very lovely gifts. So I have a very nice spa day waiting on me coming up soon here, and I'm excited. So, but just to let you know, Nick is a jokester. These are the types of things that we both do to each other. He could talk about what I did for his birthday one year as a little gag to him, but
I won't share that story just yet. My last thing that I will share is I love my wife, Teresa. That's something that I wake up and I'm excited about doing every day. She's the sunshine of my life, as Stevie Wonder would say. And I think that's a lot about me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good insight to who you are personally. And of course me, I'm a jokester as well, so we work very well off of each other. And I thank God for that, because I've seen like this meme where it says, while my friends over here gossiping about how bad their husband is, I'm over here with nothing to say, because my husband is perfect. He's perfect in my eyes. He may not be perfect to everybody else, but he's definitely perfect for me, and I thank God for that. So that's something that I don't take for granted. So We're actually going to take a quick break, and we're going to share with you something that we're going to start on this radio show called the Candid Tip of the Week. And Nick is going to share that with you when we come back after the break. So after the break, we'll share with you the Candid Tip of the Week. And you're tuned in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Tune in every week during the same time to Candidly Crawford Radio Show.
On Apple Music and WDRB Media,
the voice of the community.
Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. And those streaming live through the free TuneIn Radio app, Streama, Apple Music, Radio Seed, and more. You're listening to the Candidly Crawford Radio Show, and I'm your host, Teresa.
And I'm your host, Nick.
And if you're just tuning in, we're actually at the last part of our show where we're going to share with you the Candid Tip of the Week. So, Nick, what's the Candid Tip of the Week?
Yes, the Candid Tip of the Week. Since we're in the season of love, the tip is don't forget to do something special for the ones you love. And this goes out to anybody. It can be for parents, your sister, or your brother. Maybe it's a self-care day to yourself, or it's washing your spouse's car, or even cooking a meal for your parents, that special meal that they love. Do something extra for the people you love, because you never know when they need it. Like, this is the season of love. I try, me and Teresa try to find something to do special for each other, but we try to find something special to do for people in the community as well. So that's the Candid Tip of the Week. Look around, check your space, and if you find somebody who's in need of love, show it.
Definitely. And as we always say, our mantra is, we're blessed to be a blessing. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Continue to tune in every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please listen live 24/7 by going to WDRBmedia.com and click on the Listen Live tab. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show or want free advertising, please reach out to us at candidlycrawford@gmail.com. Also, make sure you connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Candidly Crawford. You'll see us there. We look forward to connecting with you. You've been listening to Candidly Crawford Radio, and I'm your host, Teresa.
And I'm your host, Nick.
And we are Candidly Crawford on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. For double the information and inspiration. Until next week, continue to be blessed.
All right. Peace, guys.
Bye, guys.